That's fine. I've always been known for a difficult name, so that's at least Jan got it almost right. So thank you so much for this introduction, but I'm definitely going to steal that from you. The next time I do that, the transition from automation to human to going to technology to digitization and then bringing back a KUKA school of automation and then to collaborative robots. Beautiful transition.
Just 2 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Or you can change it from there. Okay. Okay, been asked to wait and not yet. Not yet. Okay. So to start off with, what we technically are talking about is smart factory and collaborative robots. We all know this. This is an evolution of industrialization, right? It started from a decade wherein nothing was there to a decade where everything is interconnected, everything has digitization connect, everything needs to be on cloud to anything and everything. But it also led to a lot of challenges, right? Manufacturing is not the same as what it was. It's changed to be like what Tesla almost said this. They shot themselves in their shoe when they said, we can do all of this with automation. Well, it's nice to automate it all, but a human mind loves customization. We want things the way we wish to have, which means an industrial way of automating things is good for a standard supply chain and manufacturing line. But the moment customization comes in, flexibility, demand per requirement, all of this changes. And when that changes, your manufacturing lines of future need so much of flexibility. Otherwise, you are just another manufacturer. So this is what we had. This is the lines of earlier. This is also the lines of today. We have factories like this. But what it also creates is a huge gap. There is absolutely no human connect. We've distanced them for their human intelligence, for their skill sets, etc. But there is a small line below that, if you all can read. When a human and robot works together and not as two distant individuals, the productivity goes up by almost 85%. 85%. So what are we just distancing them for? So this is where the digitization map comes in. This is from McKinsey, wherein they say there are different parameters wherein you can fit your industry 4.0 technologies. One of them is the human connect, the labor connect, which is where what have you contributed to that particular labor on your shop floor to make his life easier, which is where cobots come into picture, because you don't need to bring in a robot which is extremely difficult, heavy, it can pin you to the wall and all of these. This is again coming from Frost & Sullivan, a consultant who says that in the next 50 years or 100 years, there will be technologies which is going to build things for you. And collaborative robots will be a part of that, a key part of it. So we are Universal Robots. We're one of the largest collaborative robot manufacturers in the world. We're based out of Denmark. It's a Danish company, but we have our office in Bangalore. That's a head office for South Asia. We have supplied close to 50,000 collaborative robots worldwide. One of the leading markets is definitely India. We hold a 50% market share in that. But what we define, and this is the vision and the mission of the company, where we are heading towards, is to create a workplace, a world, wherein people work with robots and not like robots. It's a completely different mindset. When you look at your people, your family, your friends on a shop floor, you don't want to see them to be working like robots. You're comfortable to see them work with robots, which are less harmful, of course. So that is where the transition comes into. This is where the traditional manufacturing was known to be large-size industrial robots. Like Jan mentioned, it's big, it's massive, extremely risky, but this is a different ballgame altogether. You're bringing in robots right next to human beings like a third arm. So what can you do when you have 4 arms doing the same job? You're using your human intelligence, but the robot is designed to do the more repetitive tasks. So when I say repetitive tasks, there's two videos that I'll be playing, but I'll speak through it. You can mute the audio so that we can speak through it. So when I say repeated tasks, it's categorized into three. Get this right: dumb, dirty, and dangerous. You look at a shop floor, anything which is dumb, anything which is dirty, anything which is dangerous will call for automation. If that's the call for automation, you can look at collaborative robots because it can be fit into the same place where you're sitting today. Bring in a cobot, plug it in, get your job done exactly like this, which technically is what your shop floors are. You have a CNC machine or a packaging line. If you have a CNC machine, you can plug that robot to do the repeated tasks of machine tending or machine loading and unloading. If you have a packaging line, you can have the human and robot working together for your secondary packing, tertiary packing, all of these applications. Because these are applications which are labor intensive but have zero value addition. That human intelligence can be leveraged at multiple different places, which will make more sense to you for your own digitization jobs versus just to pick a component, load it onto the machine and take it out. So this is where we feel the word of collaborative automation, more than collaborative robots, are so important that you're transitioning an industry towards that line. We can't do all the jobs. We have a limitation also. But those jobs which can be automated with a human and robot working together is where you see your maximum result. So we do have an online academy. All of you can log on to it, and it's free of cost. You can learn everything about collaborative robots in a span of 90 minutes. Everything about it. Plug, play, run, do what you want, all free of cost. What do we manufacture? We manufacture 4 of these arms, 5 of these arms, because the new one is the latest one, which was just released yesterday. So we have 5 of these arms, 3 kgs, 5 kilos, 10 kilos, 16 kilos, and a 20 kilo arm. So these 5 robots is only what we manufacture, which technically means that application can be designed by you, for your plant, for your application. You don't even need us. So we might need softwares and solutions like which was just spoken by Bosch and other companies. Cache, for example, was a brilliant solution because that's exactly what we would love to do, be a part of that ecosystem. But at the same time, understand what your application requirements are and give solutions rightly for it. So what kind of applications can we do? We can do applications from a packaging, palletizing, inspection, end-of-line jobs, anything in the spectrum within that payload, which technically means within a 20 kilo payload, you can do all these applications. Now, can you lift the chassis of a car? No, we can't, because there you don't need a human intervention. We don't fit into that. Can you do welding jobs? Of course, we can do welding jobs, but those welding or a painting of an entire car, no, it's not needed. We can do that, but it's not really needed. So our job today will be to see where all we can fit in your factories, your automation, vision of your automation, vision of your plans towards that domain, and see where our cobots rightly fit for you. We may not be able to do everything, like I said, but those places where we are fit for, do get in touch with us, and we should be able to give you and talk to you through it. So that's pretty much my last slide, but again, I'll go back to this favorite line of mine. We want to create a world wherein people work with robots and not like robots. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and really appreciate this.